Guys, and welcome to my new movie review for The Secret Garden. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I just want to give you this absolutely warm welcome. It's so good to have you here, and I really appreciate you clicking on this link. The Secret Garden is rated PG. The duration of The Secret Garden is 1 hour and 39 minutes long. The Secret Garden is a drama family fantasy movie. The Secret Garden was directed by Mark Mutton with an incredible cast of Dixie Edgerix, who plays the character of Mary. Also, guys, we have a guy by the name of Richard Hansel, who plays the character of George. Also, we have David Very, who plays the character of Jeremy. Also, guys, we have Tommy Jean Surridge, who plays the character of Billy as Tommy Surridge. And many, many more. Guys, this movie did come out this year, 2020, and I will give you my thoughts on The Secret Garden, guys, right after we roll the synopsis. An orphan girl discovers a magical hidden garden at her strict uncle's estate. Actually, surprisingly, guys, the two characters that are actually top billing in this movie actually are barely in the film whatsoever, which kind of surprised me in a big way, because I don't really understand why they would have such high billing in IMDb when they're barely in the movie. And those two characters, guys, are George and Billy. Now, those literally, like, they're in the film, but especially Billy, like, he's barely in it at all, which is a real surprise to me, because Colin Firth is actually in it way more than he is, and several other characters. But anyway, one of the things that I have to say about this movie, guys, is I am 100% in no way, shape or form at all the target audience for this movie. I need to tell you that straight off the bat, because I don't want to disrespect this movie. I want to tell you as it is, and the way I saw it. I am not the target audience for this movie. So the first 20 minutes of this film, the color palette of the film was so deeply saturated in negative colors. Anything gray, gloomy, deep, dark. All those colors were really saturated in the opening first, especially the first 20 minutes of this film, until she goes into the garden, and then finally the actual color palette of the movie really vibrantly lightens up. They did that very clearly, specifically, deliberately, because of the fact that when you see the movie, you'll completely understand why. Because of what happens when she actually enters the Secret Garden. Now, I have to say, guys, I really have to genuinely, authentically tip my hat off to the little girl who plays Mary in this film. I kid you not, guys, it was almost Oscar worthy. Like, really. Her talent in this movie is incredible, is absolutely brilliant. She did a fantastic job. She really did, guys. As much as I didn't personally enjoy this film to any degree, I'm not kidding you guys, I struggled to stay awake through most of the film. Literally. Like, really. I'm not the target audience of this film. People who have seen this series, who have read the books and all that sort of stuff, mothers and daughters, are definitely going to thoroughly enjoy this film, specifically what the character chemistry is at the end of the film. And you know that I love character chemistry, because character chemistry is drawn a line, and it really is. It really has incredible character chemistry throughout the entire film. It really is like that. It really sets a benchmark for this element and for this era of movie, and they do a really wonderful job throughout the journey of this film in that element. I have to say, I have never seen a movie make oatmeal look so unappealing before in my life. And obviously oatmeal itself is unappealing, like, unless you put fruit on it and stuff like that. But I kid you not, in any way, shape or form, guys, that oatmeal scene, wow, that really threw me off oatmeal. I only eat oatmeal in winter, but I kid you not, that was nasty. Man alive. Just seeing her eat it made me just like, give me some sort of colorful fruit now. Anyway, that was a pretty crazy part of this movie, guys, like, for real. The sequence in this movie, guys, that I was absolutely incredibly, unbelievably impressed by, and I really mean that, was actually the sequence that happened when she's climbing the tree, when she hears the bell ring, and I believe it was for dinner or something like that. The way that they created the elements of the tree, and for those of you who've been following my channel for any period of time, I don't do spoilers at all in my movie reviews, so just rest assured I'm not going to give anything away. That element of what they did with the tree as she's climbing it was incredible. Exiting the secret garden, that was really, really powerful. In fact, I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't use more of that element of the technique throughout more of the film, because I really, really enjoyed seeing that. And I was like, whoa, how did they do that? And it was probably the most simplest effect, but it was effective and it caught my imagination. I was really impressed with that element of the movie. So when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. The submersion into the water scene. Now, it's heading towards the end of the movie, but that scene, I thought that the way that they did the shrubs, the bushes and stuff like that, the way that they manipulated the elements to respond to him was really, really clever. I really thought, and it was in perfect synchronicity. It was unbelievable how they did that. Like, honestly, guys, I really, really thought that that was just an incredible element to this movie. Like I said, guys, this movie is not for me. It is not aimed at me in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I want to gripe at something. I want to gripe at something in this movie that I thought was really, really bad. Have you ever heard the term never run into a burning building? Okay, this isn't a spoiler, but if you've heard that term, they do something in this movie that I thought was morally incredibly wrong in every element of the word. And it has to do with what I just said, the phrase that I just spoke about. I'm not spoiling anything, but I was really disappointed that they went there. I was really kind of disgusted. I'm like, that's not right. In fact, that's quite wrong. Why would you do that? Why would you go there? That was the element of this movie that I found really personally, in my personal opinion, I didn't appreciate at all. But I understood why they do it, because the sequence, the ending sequence, was why they did that to the building. But still, I thought it was really, really wrong. I just thought it was morally inappropriate. For those of you who've been following my channel for any period of time, you know that I love to give you this element, the core DNA. What does the secret garden have, and does it have the core element in its DNA to go back days, months, years time and rewatch it? And that's what I like to call, does the secret garden have rewatchability, guys? Does it have rewatchability? And that, to you, you know what I'm going to say to that. For me, no, it doesn't. Not at all. I'm glad that I saw this film. I'm really, really, really humbly glad that I got an opportunity to see this film, because I love movies. I love movies. And that's why I went to watch it. But to me, definitely not. I'm glad I watched it, but I'll never need to see it again. You might feel differently about this movie. You might have absolutely, passionately loved it. You might have thought that this movie was the best thing since sliced bread. Maybe not that good, but pretty good. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time, and you know what time it is, guys. For anyone who's been following my channel for any period of time, you know what time it is. It's time in my movie review to give you guys trivia, because in my personal opinion, trivia is like icing on a cake. Oh my god, who doesn't love cake? I love cake so much. So it's trivia time. The Secret Garden's release date was actually postponed due to COVID-19. Next piece of trivia is, guys, The Secret Garden was actually released 2 years after filming. Next piece of trivia is, guys, 2 Harry Potter franchise veterans have portrayed the character Mrs. Medlock in feature films of The Secret Garden. Julie Walters in the 2020 version, and 27 years earlier, Maggie Smith in the film from 1993. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Dame Julie Walters, director Mark Munden, and writer Jack Thorne previously collaborated on National Treasure 2016, which won a BAFTA award for Best Miniseries. Next piece of trivia is, guys, considered a classic of English children literature, The Secret Garden has been on several film adaptations and other media as series and even animation over time. In 2020 version is the 5th so far, having the others been launched in 1919, 1949, 1987, straight to TV, and 1993. One more piece of trivia, guys, and I will leave you with this. I appreciate you being here. Eden Heydrich and Dixie Hendricks has appeared on Genius in 2017. There you go, guys. That is my review for The Secret Garden. Have you yourselves had the opportunity to go and see this movie? If you have, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you. What are your thoughts on this movie? And if you're new to my channel, welcome again. It's so good to have you here. I appreciate you being here. And if you're new and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're subscribing, if you're on a mobile device, go ahead and click that bell for notifications. And while you're on notifications, go ahead and leave a thumbs up on this movie review. That way I know that you're appreciating my content. I really value it. Don't forget, guys, who's bringing this movie for the Secret Garden review. This is Superman Steve, guys. Loving you guys always. Appreciating your time. Flying out.